I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere. Now get the fuck out of my bar.
Just give me one more drink and then I'll leave.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now.
Look, lady, I'm not interested.
All right, well, I'm sort of on the tick-tick, so upsy daisy. Here we
go.
Oh, whiskey dick of the claws. It's quite common in Wolverines over 40.
You don't want this.
Unless you want to take a deep breath through your fucking forehead, I suggest you reconsider. I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about.
Not my fucking problem.
Is that what you said when your world went to shit?
Come again.
This Wolverine let down his entire world.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
I don't know anything about saving worlds, but you do.
Trust me, kid, I'm no hero.
You were an X-Man. You were the X-Man. I am soaking wet right now.
Boys are so silly.
All right, I think nothing exploded. Hello, and welcome to the Marvel Cinematic University. Oh, well, I love it when a thing doesn't explode.
Shit.
Okay, great. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic University. I am your professor, Rivera, and joining me is the marvelous doctoral, also graduate student, Sly Clone MC, who has the bachelor's in the MCU, a master's in the multiverse, and is no longer going for their dissertations, but they might be doing something else. Sly, how are you doing?
Yeah, you know, gotta go and be above and beyond, gotta go for the postdoc. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to talk about this lovely movie with you today. I'm so glad for MC University to be back and to, you know, kind of go out on a little bit of a higher note. You know, we watched Madam Web. That was an experience. But now we are joined by a couple more folks.
That's
to,
right.
you know, really celebrate this episode.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and introduce them so that way we can get this party on the road. Returning to the MCU, a fellow person of the multiverse. I, of course, want to bring back Fee. Of course, has been part of our Deadpool legacy. Fee, how's it going? Doing a little clap for you.
Quite well.
Yes.
I also want to say I am the resident Canadian.
That's true.
Here,
You're the resident Canadian.
Because this movie is very Canadian centric for people who don't know. So I feel like it's important for me, especially as someone who's been in BC recently, to be here. Because not only am I the resident Canadian, but now I can take the hat from Harv as the only person who's been in Vancouver. Lies, I've been to Vancouver now. And boy, howdy, am I excited to talk about this movie, guys. Holy smokes.
I was a little nervous. I didn't really get your details, but then you were talking in the Discord, and I was like, all right, cool. I already know how Frank is. How's it going, Frank? The first ever freaking appearance here on the MC University. We tried to get you on Venom. We tried to get you on Venom 2. You said fuck no. And so
yeah, no, I fuck Venom. I am a variant of Frank. This is the variant that saw Venom and Deadpool Wolverine. So we're there. No, I'm glad to be on the show finally. I know last time, honestly, it was more just scheduling problems for Venom. I had something to do. But I'm glad to be on the show because me and my boy, we got together. He gave me a great gift.
Yeah,
a nice Persona vinyl set. I have it over here on one of my shelves here. And yeah, we went to go see the movie, and now we're here. I can't wait to talk about it. It's very Canadian, I'll tell you that. This movie is very, like, probably the best thing to come out of Canada in a while. Let's be real here, like, quite honestly. And Ontario.
Get my country's name out your motherfucking mouth, dude.
Oh shit! Oh, no.
Lord. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna call you for your variant. You're gonna be Get Rich or Die Trying Frank. And
This is Get Your Die Trying Frank. I saw crack on the streets.
Oh my god. Okay. As we go along, we're going to go ahead and get through the show, which I'm very excited, which of course, yes, we are talking about Deadpool and Wolverine in 2024. We're going to go to our first class, which is history class. Just give you some information about the actual project. Of course, this movie is directed by Sean Levy. Normally I would actually put next to the name of the director some of the projects, but let me tell you, this guy has been sneakily a part of a lot of our childhoods for so long that I had no freaking idea. This man...
You said Cheaper by the Dozen. I think when we were talking about the first time.
Cheaper by the Dozen. He's directed a DCOM for Disney. Jet Jackson the movie with Beyonce in it. He's directed Animorphs. He's directed
Animorphs,
So Weird. He's directed so many things leading up to, of course, Cheaper by the Dozen, which Frank has mentioned. He's also done the Night of the Museum films. Big collaboration. Yeah, big collaboration with Ryan Reynolds, Layla with Free Guy, and now, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. This is written by Ryan Reynolds because if he talks in the movie, he's written the line. So, which was a problem when the writers were on strike. So glad they figured that out. Rhett Reese and Paul Rennick, who are returning writers from the first one. So that is awesome. The studio is 21st Century Fox, except no, it isn't. It is Marvel Studios. They now, of course, own the rights to all effects. Oh, no.
I wore my MTHU shirt to represent.
No,
shout out Victoria Agana original.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah.
They when they mention 20th Century Fox in this like movie, when they have to at all, in the credits, it's just 20th Century now. They just took the Fox out.
They did drop it. Yeah, whenever you
20th
see
Century Studios or something like that. Yeah.
If you see like when you go see Alien this year, it's just gonna say 20th Century instead of Fox.
Yeah, 20th Century Studios. It's weird. It's like, what? We're gonna keep the studio, but we're just gonna nix the Fox part.
Yeah, it is a little different. Of course, this movie stars Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Emma Corrin, and a ton of other people, which we'll get to that as we get to it. You currently can't stream this anywhere except TikTok. It's all over TikTok. You can't miss
You watch it on YouTube. So they've been putting bootlegs up on YouTube. I sent like 3 today.
That's insane.
You want to watch it in Spanish? You could go ahead. They got the whole movie up there.
Oh, Lord. But
speaking of TikTok,
yeah.
I have not seen any clips from this movie, but you know what has been filling my TikTok feed in the past like 2 days?
Sure.
Just a million Charrick edits. It is just all Charles and Eric. Like all of it. I'm just getting a million edits.
Well, we know what you're doing.
And you know what? I'm not mad about it. I'm just a little confused.
Oh. Well, good for you.
Yeah, TikTok heard NSYNC in theaters, and that's all I get now.
That's all I get. You'll probably get this on Disney Plus in 3 months. That's probably where we'll end up. And yeah, that's a big part of where you're all the little details there. We're gonna go ahead and give out the plot. So if Fia's done this before, I'm actually gonna have Frank. Frank, you got the document in front of you?
I do actually.
Can you please read out the plot?
Is that right here?
That's right there.
I gotcha.
I'm off the hook for once.
Yeah, you're off the hook.
If I could
Thank God.
put it in the middle of my screen here. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. A listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life with his days as the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his home world faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine. That's good. That's good intro. That's a good intro.
Yeah, that's a non-spoiler one. Usually we get these from, user submitted ones. There is none yet. The movie literally just came out this weekend. We're looking for the wild and absolutely crazy people writing some of these plot descriptions. So they're so hilarious, but it is what it is. Of course, comic book characters are going to be Deadpool, Wolverine, and like so fucking many others. There's just so many other little Easter eggs and actual cameos, but actual people are really integral to the plot. So we're about to get into that. And of course, Peter Peter's in the movie as well.
Yeah, Peter's in the movie.
Is Peter in the comics, Frank?
No, I think honestly, I think what happened was Deadpool 2. I think in Deadpool 2 introduced Peter, right?
It did.
I think they didn't. I think they wanted to do Bob, but Bob, for some reason, just didn't fit plot wise.
I guess.
So I think Peter's just Bob, but since they already did the Peter joke in the second movie, they had to keep rolling with that.
All right, fair. Which Bob was in the first one.
Because Bob was Hydra. That's why they can't do Bob.
Yeah. Well, now they can if they wanted to. Yeah. So. All right. This is the nitty gritty. This is what we've been waiting for. We're gonna go in and do the Stanley seminar where we get to talk about what we thought about the film, and really break it down. The one thing I will say is, and we have been pretty good about it so far, we will be spoiling everything. This is it's a treat after you finish the movie, right? So we're gonna be able to say whatever the fuck we want and actually.
Do you want to do like quick 15-second spoiler-free thoughts for people, and then we can get into our full thoughts?
Sure. Fee, did you like the movie?
I sure fucking did. Mario.
Cool. Frank, did you like the movie?
The best thing to come out of Canada in a while.
Now this one scares me. Sly, did you like the movie?
Why does that scare you?
I've never heard any of your thoughts yet.
I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's a must-see if you're a big fan of this universe. I think it's a little too insular to go in as a casual fan. That's my spoiler-free thoughts.
I fucking love this movie. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to go into our Stanley seminar. I am going to go with our newest guest here on the MCU, which of course is Frank. Frank, go ahead. This is your opportunity. Say whatever you want to say about the film.
I love this movie. I think we went in with low expectations, low enough to whatever this movie kind of just did would have been probably fine. It was a little bit worrying after Disney is now in control of a character who obviously doesn't have a filter and hasn't had a filter since the first movie. But I think they gave everybody in this movie enough creative freedom that it's one of those kind of unicorn flash in a bottle movies that Marvel gets every now and again, where everything just fucking works, right? The cast, you can tell, absolutely had a fun time with it. Everybody who is there, I'm not going to spoil all of them, but for example, Channing Tatum, everybody just seems like they had a really fun time and actually wanted to be there and wasn't forced to do it just because of a paycheck or nothing. And it shows on screen actually, which is funny. The first thing I always talk about when people ask me about this movie is just the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. It in a way transcends acting itself, because you can tell they're actually just friends. The way they talk to each other, the way they're just comfortable with each other on set, you can tell this wasn't one of those movies where you had one person on a green screen 1 week and then they just flashed in the other person and the next, right? They were on set with each other, they talked to each other, they had fun with each other, and that extends even to the rest of the cast too, with Channing Tatum, with other cameos and stuff like that. Even the villains seemed like they had fun. You know what I mean? Villain didn't feel like some kind of contrived oh my god, what I hate everything type shit. It genuinely, it felt like a feel good movie from a movie making standpoint and as a comic book connoisseur, right? Because they do a lot of stuff that the comic books do. Deadpool and Wolverine isn't a new concept. It's been a comic book for a while. Same thing with Deadpool, Spider-Man, and stuff like that. Deadpool does a lot of these kind of team ups and everything like that. So it felt like a good natural progression to go from Deadpool 1 and 2 to finally having that crossover between two characters who are part of the same universe. It's crazy that it took this long for these two to be on screen, but goddamn am I glad that they're on there. And like I keep saying, it's the best thing to come out of Canada, because people forget that Wolverine's a Canadian character for some reason. Then Deadpool, actually.
No, that's absolutely true. And it's also nice that Ryan Reynolds is also Canadian, so it does help with the creation of the character. But when they make fun out of Wolverine being from Australia, it's really great.
Yeah.
Whenever they do that. Fee, what are your full thoughts on this movie? Your unfiltered thoughts.
Okay, my unfiltered thoughts. This is probably the closest we're ever gonna get to Deadpool kills Marvel Universe. So that's one of my favorite comic like storylines in history. For context, it's essentially Deadpool just going through every single like multiverse and just killing off everyone. And it's just from start to finish, I had fun throughout the film, and it was just unbridled chaos. And I like the fact that they kind of he even addressed it in the movie, the fact that like Disney allows us to do everything except for us to do cocaine. Like we cannot do cocaine on screen. We can't do either one. But sure as hell they can mention it up the wazoo the entire time. Does not matter. Every single word and phrase for it by all means, but they just can't do it on screen. It's so well thought out. You can tell that this was a project that they wanted to put so much heart into, whereas it could have been like, hey, you know what, we're getting paid buttloads of Disney money, we can just do whatever we want, and then doesn't really matter. Because I'm not gonna lie, MCU hasn't been doing so hot recently. And so being able to see this passion project with Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and the rest of this staff and the crew who worked on, you can tell every single person in that movie, even Dogpool, had a blast in this film. Like, it was just so much fun and so much chaos throughout the entire film, and that's what I love about it. And I was thinking about it when I was watching the very first scene when he comes out with Logan's dead corpse and proceeds to like freaking Mortal Kombat like RKO everyone with his entire like each and every, like him saying like there's 206 bones in the human body, 207 if I'm watching Gossip Girl, and proceeds to take this
We'll talk about that line later.
He takes his freaking skeleton, like his actual like backbones and the skull, and just starts whipping everyone, dancing to freaking Bye 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 by NSYNC was just fun. Like, I cannot think of a time where I've had.
I love it.
But it's so good.
In a good way. Disrespectful in a good way.
Oh, 100%. Also, shout out to Nick Pauly. They are the person who actually danced as Deadpool, because you can tell when someone puts on the Deadpool suit, they become Deadpool. Like, it's not just like a person dancing. They had the mannerisms, they had the hands, and it was just like, I've never had so much fun in an opening in a film before. And it's just like, it really speaks to, I mean, it's a testament to what they did in other films, because they did phenomenally in the first film when it came to like the opening. The second movie, great, fantastic opening. And then this one, just like, but which by the way was a freaking shout out to the Celine Dion music video, because he's just like, I should have gotten NSYNC, and proceeds to get NSYNC's music for this movie. It's so like fourth wall breaking. It's like beyond that at this point, because it's just like it's just so good. And I know there's like really cheesy parts, but I think they had a really great balance of like humility and also like hilarity. And guys, we got to see Cavalrine. We got to see
a Cavalrine. Yeah.
Oh my!
You know what the best part about that theme is? The fact that like Cavill's known for the arm reload from Mission Impossible, right? And he does the fucking he reloads his fucking claws out. He just like whoosh, and just like pulls that shit out, dude. I'm like, God damn, man. We honestly we need him in the MCU. We need him. We need at least more. We need more.
And it's just the fact that, like, you know that if he did play Wolverine, that's how he would, like, actually bring out the claws. It wouldn't just be, like, the wham. It would be, like, the reload. Oh, my
reload.
God. It's just...
That's what I mean, right? Like, if you hated the people who worked on this movie, like, if you hated Ryan Reynolds, you hated Hugh Jackman, you wouldn't have showed up for that.
Exactly.
For, like, a 5-second cameo. You're Henry Cavill. You're Superman. Like, that, you just don't do that.
I mean, like Wesley Snipes. Like we could talk about that too, but we will because that was.
Oh my god,
That's crazy. That was a
Get there.
crazy
We'll get there.
reveal.
We'll get there.
Crazy reveal.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah. So my TLDR is this is one of the best films that I've seen in a very long time, and probably my favorite MCU movie ever, hands down, no holds bar. Because it's just like I love chaos, like that's kind of my thing, and it's just like it's the comedy and just like the gore and just the overwhelming like just absurdity of the film is like chef's kiss, 10 out of 10.
Oh Lord. Yeah, this movie is phenomenal. I've seen it twice now. Once with Frank for the first time, which was the moment I wanted to be able to relive and take back. And so when I went to see it again on Saturday, which little story, my family wanted to go see the movie. We invited my mom. My mom wanted to actually do homework and actually watch Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2. She asked for my login for Disney Plus. And then she said she did. She watched both. And I said, as a little treat or a little extra, go ahead and check out Logan, because I have a feeling that's going to be somewhat important. And on the end of the Friday before the showing, she texted me and she said, Wolverine died? Just in the saddest thing possible, which my mom's name is Laura, so is the name of X-23. Mm-hmm. Her favorite movie is Grease. And so when Saturday we watched the movie, all I did for the major moments was just look over and just stare at both my sister and my mom, because I wanted to see them react to a lot of the big moments. And when those moments hit, man, do they hit. And yeah, they hit pretty hard with this one. I we've been watching a lot of movies for this show, streaming all the way back from Blade, all the way now up to X-Men and Wolverine, and it just felt like the great release. Just like, this was worth something, because there's a lot of great, there's a lot of mid, and there's a lot of bad that we did have to go through. But honestly, it was worth the journey to experience that, and I experienced that with my life when I saw those movies in real time, and to revisit them and have a new context for them. And now to see them sort of honored with this one, it just brings so much nostalgia and love. And yeah, this movie is fantastic. It has the heart. It's so fucking funny. It has all the MCU stuff that I'd want. It has a lot of the Fox stuff that I miss. It has characters that I unironically love that show up. It tells a very sad story. And with all the Deadpool movies, there's always something that is the key to it. And the first one being about love, the second one about being family, and the third one being about mattering and what it means to matter, whether it's the people around you or to the universe. And I think they nailed it in the most silliest way possible. And for them to then tie in Logan, which of course was a send off to that character. And, he's been doing it for such a long time. For them to then not necessarily dishonor that, even though they say they do, I really still think it's still honorable. For them to introduce a new version of that character that could continue on for a few more films, I think is awesome. To your 90, which was fantastic.
You probably would too.
Probably would at this point. We got to get to Old Man Logan eventually, which that was cool. But yes, I adore this film. There's so much to unpack, and we're gonna go probably section by section when we talk about this. Sly, where would you want us to pinpoint and start with this? I mean,
can I give my general thoughts before?
Did you ever do it? Oh, I'm sorry.
You skipped me.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's how you went.
It's fine.
Give us your thoughts on this film. I would want to hear what your take.
I absolutely adored this film. I've only seen it once. I think I definitely need to revisit to really take it all in. I really believe that movies should be catered to their audience and still be approachable to an outside audience. I don't think this movie is the most approachable if you come into it. I think you'll see a good movie, but I don't think it'll resonate very well. But overall, I had such a blast. And for this to be the movie, as we've gone through the series, we've talked about so many different films. And before we started, Deadpool 1 was one of the very few I had even seen before we started. And so to end it with this movie that pays such tribute to so many of the movies we covered throughout the run of this podcast was really incredible for me. As a noted Logan disrespecter, I had a great time. I thought the way they handled his storyline, that fight scene with the adamantine skeleton was fucking awesome. And then getting to see the journey through the multiverse to find, the perfect anchor Logan to continue. It was just so fun. Like Frank said, and I think Fee mentioned this as well, you could really feel the chemistry from everybody on set. You can tell they're friends. You can tell they're having a good time. And when you're watching a film, you want to enjoy it, right? You're there for entertainment. And to see people having fun and telling a story with deep themes throughout it, while also having a silly, goofy time, is everything you could have asked for. But the scream I scrumped when I saw Love of My Life, Jennifer Gardner on screen. Somehow I had forgotten that she was in this movie. And that was really important to me personally, okay?
Yeah, as one of the outliers in this whole show we've ever done, where I absolutely hated it and you loved the movie, and that was a very interesting episode. I'm so happy for you. Sad that Gorn Vishnik wasn't in this movie, but I'm glad that she was.
That would have been great. Highlights of this movie for me were seeing the family that, Deadpool has built in this universe. Seeing the team up of all the people we know and love. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. I love you so much. And then also seeing Deadpool be the most coherent and logical take on the TVA we have seen in existence is absolutely hilarious and completely ridiculous. Hot take, Deadpool and Wolverine did the TVA better than both seasons of Loki. They had a clear and concise vision of what this organization is, and they stuck to it. And you can't say that for all the Marvel projects.
That is a good point. I do I haven't seen the entirety of Loki season 1, and definitely haven't seen season 2 at that point. But I do kind of understand what the TVA does now. A lot.
Yeah, finally.
Within 2 hours.
Well, there's a lot to unpack for this movie. I think the best part would be talking about just generally the people and what this is, right? This is a send up to the Fox universe. I just do want to go over the history of our guests, of what their connection is, if there is a connection to anything. So I'm going to start with Frank. What was your connection to the Fox universe?
Shit, that's the OG universe, man. That's me and my dad used to go see these movies all the time. I used to read these comics all the time because my dad was always a comic book boy. So I always read his old comics when I was a kid. So Deadpool wasn't a new concept, even though I thought he was Spider-Man for a little bit.
Easily.
Yeah. I think every kid who goes through that, if you ever read Deadpool comics, it was oh yeah, this is Spider-Man. It's oh wait, yeah, that's right. That's the joke. You're supposed to look like Spider-Man so kids can buy you more. But yeah, I thought it was we go see these movies all the time. We've seen everything but I think Elektra and the newer X-Men movies. You know what I mean? Because I'm older, I didn't really like the X-Men movies as I started to like comic books more. So I don't like movies as much. So I have newer ones like Days of Future Past and stuff like that. It's a good to first class though. I very much remember the entire first class. I just don't remember anything after first class. but I do enjoy them. I mean, there's a lot of they're obviously Wolverine. That's why, man. You know, I mean, we watch X-Men movies because of Wolverine. Same thing for the Wolverine. Same thing for Logan. You know what I mean? We're there to cheer those. I always like the character. I always wish he was a little shorter. Only just because, like, something happened. What happened? Hello?
I rebooted the audio. Apparently, the audio was acting funky.
Acting funky. Okay. Yeah, we I like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. I think Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is very good. I wish he was more comic accurate in his height, which I love that Deadpool Wolverine actually showed. Like, what would Hugh Jackman look like if he was like comic book height? It looks so ridiculous. I kind of want it, but at the same time, I can see why we haven't done it. It would not look good on screen. But I love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and obviously when Deadpool was announced, I think we were some of the first people to like kind of see the original footage, and when it was leaked, you know what I mean? We looked at it, we're like, God damn, this will make a good movie, and they made it into a movie, and you know what? Honestly, it's one of those things where, like, if you read the comics, you know that Rob Liefeld had a person in mind from like day one, who he kind of outlined Deadpool around, right? And it's always been Ryan Reynolds, man. Deadpool has always been a Ryan Reynolds like character, and it's weird how this is one of the characters that has come full circle in that, where he really does embody the character, and he's not one of those actors who's like, I fucking hate the role. The role isn't me. I'm Ryan Reynolds. I'm bigger than Deadpool kind of shit. You know what I mean? But instead, an actor who knows that the character is basically based on him and embodies it outside like the comic books perfectly. It's so surreal, and it's really nice to have that to be like one of your favorite characters too, because it's like, no matter what, this guy just doesn't fucking mess with these movies, because he nails the character fucking perfectly. I don't have any complaints on it.
Is the variant of Deadpool of our universe,
right? Right. Like,
God damn, it's really cool that we have, because we've always seen that in Ryan Reynolds throughout these films, but then to put him up next to Hugh Jackman, who, you know, is a phenomenal actor, a deep, like incredible roles, like he has a presence in the industry, and to have like two powerful mainstays of this movie be actors who like genuinely love what they're doing and can advocate for their character and like deeply know their character so well, create such an incredible product. Like, you can tell they're invested in this story playing out correctly.
Yeah, there are some mainstay actors that I feel like you can think of the character without thinking about them, and Hugh Jackman is Wolverine for the most part. Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. RDJ is Iron Man.
Yeah.
And, and these are just titans of the industry coming together and making fun. And so it's so glorious. I did want to get your take, obviously, in your history with the DC. I know we watched the Deadpool movies together, but what else was your history with the Fox universe?
Yeah, absolutely. So even though I technically wasn't allowed watching like very violent films when I was a kid, I remember going into the movie theaters and watching like Spider-Man 1 through 3, and also going to go see things like the Fantastic Four. I remember sitting down in my room one day when I was a kid. Actually, I was sitting in my mom's room, and she had a TV in there, and I did like a double feature. I watched the original Fantastic Four, and then right after watched Hellboy, Fantastic Chef's Kiss. And so this was very 2005, by the way. But I digress. It's just, I think that's what also resonated with me when we watched Deadpool 3, was the fact that when we saw Chris Evans, I'm like, that's not our fucking Captain America, that's our freaking Johnny Storm, baby. And people were like, so for me, that was so nostalgic, because I'm like, that's how I knew Chris Evans. Like, a lot of people knew him as Captain America. I'm like, no. We love the fucking D tier fucking Fantastic Four that no one,
baby.
flame on, baby. Like people are, and it's just like he's about to say it. He's gonna say Avengers, and then it's just like flame on, and he was just like, wait, what? And then
they do. They even do a little fake out there too. They give him like the red, white, and blue like arms, and then I think they play Captain America's theme. Like you cheeky bastards.
You do hear the theme. You do hear the Captain America theme.
Yeah, because I also think that in a way it's because we're in such of a fourth wall kind of situation. We're also hearing like what specifically Deadpool hears in his head music wise, and so that's why we have like a lot of like really old school like 70s 80s music, and then we'll talk about that later on. But I think it was a really good shout out, and also the fact that he kind of makes a hint at himself, because he's just like, I'm not the you're not the only person who's been in multi like situations. Green Lantern, which is very funny. By the way, you guys should go watch the Lie Detector YouTube video with him and Hugh Jackman. So good. He hates Green Lantern as much as we do.
With a passion.
And I love the fact that that's where he met his wife. So, which is also fantastic. And by the way, they've been
his wife.
Yeah, speaking of his wife. But yeah, he like, I just want to say kudos to them, because they've been destroying, like going above and beyond when it comes to advertising. They've done stuff in Korea. They've done just stuff in Japan. They've done stuff in the Western market. They've done an entire cooking segment with freaking Gordon Ramsay. They've been doing a bunch of other things, and it's like non-stop. Like, I don't think these guys have had a breath of fresh air.
In costume sometimes.
I don't know. Yeah, and also the fact that he just finished a circuit for If, which was a movie that he released like 2 months ago, and now his wife's about to go release her rom-com of the summer. So like, GG's, Reynolds family. But no, I think like there's just like it's pretty much like mid 2000s. I unfortunately at the time when I was younger, I didn't get to see Elektra. I didn't get to see Blade and stuff like that, and I didn't get to see it until later on. But I'm a huge Jennifer Garner fan, so when I saw her, oh my god, because I knew about Snipes, but I did not know Elektra was in the movie. And then I was like squeezing Lucas's leg. I'm like, oh my god, it's freaking Jennifer Garner. I'm like, it's Elektra,
and she looks good too, man.
Oh my god,
she looks like she hasn't skipped a beat in that costume.
All of them were amazing.
Yeah. Also, that's what happens when you're not dramatic.
Let's be real. Wesley Snipes looking a little bit old. The tax evasion got to him his age a little bit, but
he's also like in his mid 60s.
That's what I'm saying.
Not later.
The tax evasion didn't age him very well, but I do like the gray beard with the little gray streak in his hair. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like the fact that like they make a joke about the leak for Deadpool in the essentially the lie detector test, and because Hugh Jackman asked Ryan, were you one of the people who leaked the movie? And he's just like, I'm not going to answer. And he's like, I do need to remind you, this is a lie detector test. You are currently strapped to and there's currently a guy over there, Lou, and he's just like, I'm not going to talk about it. And they're like indecisive. And he's just like, okay, that answers my question. Anyway, let's continue. So no, mostly Spider-Man for sure. But I would definitely say out of anything like Fantastic Four, if we had to go like 21st Century Fox. And then of course when Deadpool came out,
go back, watch all the Fantastic Four movies. We're getting ready for First Steps.
Oh my goodness. I also really like, I enjoyed like the old X-Men movies as well, which was great and really interesting like at the time. But I think this was a very good way to send it off. Would I have liked maybe a few more cameos from some of the other, but I think that's also the running gag when it comes to like Deadpool and like X-Men. They never have more than like 2 X-Men members in a movie at once. So I think this was like kind of the quota was just like, okay,
Logan. Like that's,
or
you're
the
not
budget,
getting
maybe?
the other X-Men.
Yeah. That was a joke at the running time. They're like,
dude,
do you understand how much of a budget this is? Like,
we got to kill this character off really quick because you know what he's doing to the budget. He's too expensive.
Yes.
There was a leak.
Me and Mario actually had a theory on this too, because after we watched the movie, I feel like a lot of people were called and some people just didn't answer, or probably couldn't do it, or probably like something happened. You know what I mean? Like, I really do theorize that Ben Affleck was actually supposed to be in this movie. Like, he was the first call, and they couldn't get him, so they said, "Fuck it, we'll get Elektra."
Yeah, well, no, they even made a comment in the film. She's like, he's dead.
Yeah.
And that was it. So like,
That's why I think that I'm like, oh, you're gonna get one of them.
That was a good joke when she's like, Deadpool's like, he says like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Oh my
She's
God.
thriving. We love that for her.
Oh Lord! All right,
definitely.
Let's get into the cameos. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the stuff. I'm gonna start with Sly. Sly, what was your favorite cameo? I think you mentioned something already, but do you have any other ones?
Oh man, I really loved that. The I almost called it the Wasteland. What do they call
Void?
the place? The Void. I just really loved the Void team up. Because of what it meant to like me and us and it going through these movies with the show. Like we started with Blade and I was like, fucking hell yeah. That line about him being the only Blade, what does that mean for the future of, the announced Blade projects? Who knows? I loved Elektra so much. Like genuinely, that was one of my favorite movies we watched. The 2005 Fantastic Four, we had a blast with. I think that was one of our best episodes. We had so much fun with that movie, and to see like all of them in the same room, and then to get that non-existent Gambit show up, like that was just freaking cool. Like, do I have like thoughts and feelings about like what that actually means for the universe? Sure. But was it a like, oh shit, they did the thing moment? Yes, absolutely.
Oh man, I could talk about Gambit for days. Frank, what was your favorite in terms of the cameos, including even background characters, including anything else?
Two of them. There was two in this movie that stood out to me, and I still think about to this day. One, Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. Holy fuck,
that was sick.
That look works. It's 80s. I want to say it's early, like late 80s, early 90s. Age of Apocalypse, but I could be wrong. That look still fucking works. Like, goddamn, the fucking long chops and shit like that with the fucking with like the kind of wrestler outfit, dude. It actually works really well. Two, Blade, obviously, right? Like, never in a million years did I walk into this movie and think I was gonna get Wesley Snipes' Blade. I thought we'd at least get a joke about like the TV show Blade, because I'm like, it's in my mind, right? It's 100% easier to get a rapper than it is to get Wesley Snipes, who notoriously hates Ryan Reynolds because of Blade Trinity, right? And we fucking got Wesley Snipes back in the costume, and he looks amazing. Like, honestly, I look, I'm still hyped for the Mahershala Ali one, but I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I wouldn't mind another Blade movie with Wesley Snipes if he's down to do it. If he looks like he's down to do it. I don't know if we're getting it after this movie, obviously, because the big thematic thing, I guess, with a lot of the characters in this movie was that this is their ending, right? They crave an end or a noble end, and they get one, right? So the ones who obviously stayed, and the one who obviously don't, right?
I don't know, man. But I think the ending kind of ruins it, because it literally Deadpool literally says like, hey, is there anything you can do for my friends that they were in the void? Obviously they save X-23, so it's possible that they probably like TVA'd right before that moment and just grabbed them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it leaves it open for like, we could have grabbed these people as they went. I don't think Blade's gonna survive, because Blade got fucking stabbed in the back through like straight pierced. But there's a chance for Elektra and Gambit at least.
Elektra will always live on in my heart.
Yeah, I think she just got cut in like a heel or something like that. I think she'll be fine.
And even so, if like these are variants, right? There'll just be another variant version that we'll see.
Get it from a different universe.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing Blade on the screen again. Maybe like an actual like final ending for him would be kind of sick, like movie. But fun fact on that, actually, apparently, like in an interview recently with Wesley Snipes, he revealed that like the beef was kind of hammed up and it was a joke this whole time.
Yeah,
I don't know if I 100% believe him, because remember we're talking about coked up, tax evading Wesley Snipes. You know what I mean? Like, this is the different era of Wesley Snipes. You know how like there's Eminem and Slim Shady, there's Wesley Snipes, and there's pre going to jail Wesley Snipes. So, yeah, no, but like, dude seems like he's got a good head on his shoulder now, and he looks like he wants to get back into this. Obviously, it's probably because of the paychecks. Let's be real here. Even Deadpool makes a reference, just like a buttload of money will bring anybody back.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, it was just nice to see Blade on the screen again. You know what I mean? Like in the original costume too. I think the only thing he's missing is the sword. He's got like a kukri now for some reason, but other than that,
the weapon he uses in the movie too is the same from Blade 1, which is awesome.
Is it from Blade 1? Yeah, because I know he doesn't have his like original sword.
He kills the vampires in the club with that fucking thing, and like, oh, so sick. Yeah. I was like,
he does do like his weapons too. Also does the OG like vampire killing thing where they like turn into like sparks for a second. The first person he kills does that. I was like, God damn, we're doing that shit.
It's because it's Azrael. He kills Azrael.
Yeah, but then everybody else dies normally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like little details like that. Like nobody, like unless you watch Blade, you don't give a fuck because it's like, oh, okay, well the demons and the fucking vampires and shit like that will explode like that, but like regular humans will be fine, right? And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they actually like thought about that. That's so fucking cool, man.
Ida Hill. I love it. Love it.
That was weird, dude. I was worried about that because he for up to that point, Blade hadn't sworn at once, right? He hadn't said fuck. He didn't say motherfucker, nothing. I was getting a little worried. I thought they censored him a little bit, but then I realized, oh, we're saving the motherfucker for the best motherfucker ever. I get it.
Fee, your thoughts, your favorite cameos?
Cameo wise, oh god. Well, first of all, shout out Blake Lively because she freaking looked phenomenal.
I think they mentioned too. She just had a baby. She doesn't even look like she did.
Yeah, as Lady Deadpool. I also want to give a shout out. It's not so much a cameo, but it's a character that has been mentioned previously, but has never shown up in the MCU, which is Cassandra Nova, which is played by Emma Corrin.
Yeah.
Holy flippin' hell.
Dude, amazing.
They were great.
Son of a gun. She did phenomenally as Diana in The Crown, and then she freaking knocked this out of the park. Frank, I want to see Cassandra Nova as a Dead by Daylight, actually,
dude, I would work too.
And then like her going in and like putting her hands
grabbing
through
somebody.
their face.
Dude, that's got to be the most disrespectful shit I think I've seen in a movie ever. This motherfucker was getting dragged like a goddamn like handbag. Like he was getting dragged like fucking luggage. Just like, hey, I was gonna grab you from the inside of your fucking skull and just drag you around. That right there haunts my dreams. Haunts my dreams a little bit.
It's so good because they have like characters like that already. They have like the essentially the Mad Doctor who like does the TV frizz kind of thing on the screen, and then it makes you look at like other things. And I feel like this would be a great character for, like, by the way, here's an idea, MC, like Disney, collaborate with them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So good.
And her character makes so much sense too. Like I know people bag on how simple the plot is for this movie, and I think that's honestly its biggest strength. Like people are like, oh well, she's mad because Charles never fucking found her, doesn't know who she is, she's just mad. I'm like, well, think about it, right? We've seen these movies for child. Well, even then, I'm like, we've seen these movies for literally like years, right? Obviously, like we've seen Charles, we've seen X-Men First Class, we've seen like these things, and the irony is a lot of people don't even know who Cassandra Nova is. And that's the point, is like, you know, Charles really did never look and he did try to kill it. So obviously she has every right to be fucking pissed, right? And that's why I think her character works so well, because it's like, oh, okay, your motivations are simple, but it's understandable in the context of like, yeah, we've watched these movies for decades, we don't know who you are.
Well, some people know her from Marvel Snap. Sorry, continue.
You're good. My thing about this movie is, especially in the age of like superhero movies as like a whole like universe of like it's expanded past the genre of it being like this whole thing, and we've seen so many like super bland superhero movies come out. This feels like a comic book movie. Like it feels like you're watching people who genuinely care about comics. The one gripe that I've seen, and I agree with, is the continuation of nobody ever understanding / knowing what fucking universe they're in. Like, we've had 5 different takes on 616 at this point, and that's not even supposed to be the movie. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me started on the logic of the timeline, the fact that this takes in 2024 when Logan takes place in 2029 and the food hasn't got rid of the mutants.
I mean,
we don't care anymore.
Someone made a really good comment in actually I was looking at TikTok today because there was that argument is the fact that Logan died in 20 what was it 20
29
yeah. So there was a great someone put a great comment was the fact that at the end of Deadpool 2 Deadpool just goes fucking off and proceeds to mess around with everyone's universe. So there's a very good likelihood the way that their actual universe happened now, the way that everything played out, Logan could have died earlier because of his transactions, because of the things that worked out the way that they did. So you know what? Everything's out the fucking window because he just went off.
You know They fixed the timeline at the end too. Yeah, the timeline's fixed. So the I don't think Wolverine even dies in the first place anymore, because this Wolverine's now in the universe, right?
Well, no, so he'll be a second universe technically. Technically,
he'd be a second variant.
There would be 2 Wolverine walking around at this timeline, but
it's a branch.
Either that or
trajectory.
They avert the crisis that kills Wolverine. I don't know, but it doesn't make sense.
Timelines are fucking weird.
If they fix the timeline, but bringing Wolverine to that timeline didn't fix it in the first place, then something changed where that timeline's fixed. And if that's the anchor being, that means Wolverine didn't die. I imagine
or some other thing that is regenerating the universe somehow. So I don't know.
It could be an allegory too. Let's be real here. It could be Wolverine isn't dead, therefore that timeline isn't dead.
The point is, it doesn't matter anymore. It's we have the MCU, which is 616, and then we have 1005, right?
Yeah.
And then when Secret Wars happens, it doesn't gonna matter anyways. It's all gonna be one.
Yeah, we're gonna converge all of this. We're bringing Miles Morales in anyway. It's
100%. He's fucking coming in. You kidding me?
No.
Got to retire our Tom Holland boy.
I do want to do some other shout outs as well. Shout out to Matthew McConaughey for being Cowboy Deadpool. Also Nathan Fillion, who played Headless Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool. Oh my God, what a nightmare. Also, shout out to Chris Hemsworth. Why was he hugging Deadpool?
Do you all recognize where that footage is from?
Isn't that from Thor 1?
Dark World,
where he's hugging Loki, where he's hugging Loki wherever
because
Loki dies.
That was actually one of the ideas, was the fact that they were going to do the entirety of Deadpool 3, but it was going to be the same plot and movement as Dark World, because it was considered the worst MCU movie ever. And so for jokes, they were going to do the first sequence of that movie, but it was going to be Deadpool.
Love it.
They did a lot of weird, wacky things. I love the idea of the ideas that they had. But yeah, there was just so many different cameos, and then the fact that they had the multiverse. Also, of course, I mentioned it earlier. Cavalrine, which was 10 out of 10. I just mean, they could just bring him into the MCU.
They'll treat him better.
They would treat him better.
They'll treat him better than those Jagoffs across the street.
There's so many. You know what? You know who also wasn't treated very well by the DCU?
Who's that?
Ryan Reynolds when it came to Green Lantern.
True. He's probably still salty about that one.
He sure is. He doesn't like it yet.
I would imagine. I wonder if he hates Green Lantern.
He does.
He does.
He mentioned it.
100%.
I don't think he's ever mentioned it once.
I don't think he's ever mentioned it.
All right. I have a few to bring up. We haven't talked about these ones specifically.
Sorry.
I want to shout out Tyler Mane, who came back as Sabretooth from the original X-Men movie and dies immediately. Just totally
love that for him.
Yeah.
We waited so long for this fight for it to be over in a minute. There's a lot of awesome little things, especially since, again, we've been watching meticulously from Blade all the way up through. So seeing a lot of little background people, I was like, is that the bad guy from The Punisher with the striped shirt? What the fuck? And then it's Lady Deathstrike, Toad, Pyro, and then like Psylocke shows up. There's just so many like little goofy. So Frank, you mentioned this person already. The TV Blade is in the movie.
Well,
it's in the background as one of the bad guys. He joined the bad guys. It's the
wait,
most.
What were we talking about? Oh, TV Blade.
Yeah.
Okay, is he in the movie?
Yeah, it's the most bootleg.
I see screenshots every now and again, but I'm like, I don't remember seeing them.
There's there's like a Bullseye variant, which is bullshit. They should have brought Colin Farrell back for that. But you know,
probably again, I think it was one of the situations they definitely, you know for a fact, like Ryan Reynolds would have actually called these people.
I bet.
And like he has the balls to call these people, right?
That was the
like,
Bullseye
there's no
variant.
way they just.
Oh man, maybe either way. Yeah. Bullshit.
Shout out to Bullseye. That was.
I was confused because I was like, I don't remember seeing. I know people keep posting that screenshot, but I keep thinking that it's doctored.
Sure.
Because it's like so clear. He's so clear in that photo. That's why I'm like, that just doesn't look great.
That's awesome. Either way, he looks like the Blade from the TV. He looks like Bullseye. It's still just the fact that they had the idea to put that in there. I just love that that's in there, even though he was terrible.
They 100% called like the Punishers too. I feel like
that was my favorite one because they're like, hey, we got this little gift from the Punisher, which is the rocket launcher, which is from Punisher Warzone. When they were asking which we don't hate. We hate the other Punisher. We like Warzone. But I love that they joked about the 5 different versions that have played that character.
Yeah, there's like 5 different versions. I do love that Blade says like there is only going to be one Blade ride. Like Deadpool just looks at the camera like is there?
And then of course the biggest shining star in my mind, fucking Channing Tatum coming out as Gambit and getting to live his dream. We haven't really gotten into it, but like, man, it's been
Ryan Reynolds, creator of dreams,
literally made that shit happen. As comic accurate as you could possibly make it, even if it looks. The second time I watched it, it looked a little better. The first time I watched it, it's still goofy. It's still goofy.
The first time's a little goofy. The second time's a little bit better.
Yeah,
it was a little goofy, but I could, as somebody who again doesn't have much experience.
Yeah.
With that, like I know of the character and I get the gist and I've seen a little bit, but like I could immediately recognize. I'm like, oh shit, they did Gambit.
Yeah.
The trench coat works really well. Like I had a theory that this is like the original suit that they had like when they were doing like testing and stuff like that. And then because you can tell some of it looks a little unfinished. Like it looks like it was just like kind of done as like maybe let's take a few photos, see how you look in the suit, and then we'll modify it. But they never got to the modifying part. You know what I mean? Because that chest is huge, man. That shit is like
it is huge, but there's some little details in there. I'm like, fuck, that's like accurate to the actual. Yeah. Like,
I feel like up to like
97.
Here it's accurate. Everything under is like, let's just cobble this together real quick.
But man, hit the way he fought, the way that they used the cards, like, just did an absolutely amazing job.
Became the best version of Gambit like almost instantly. Like a live action version of Gambit.
Well,
right?
97 is still my favorite, but you know, that's still the best live action that we've seen ever.
That's what I mean.
And I can't not say fucking Chris Evans as the Human Torch, who I've been wanting since he became Captain America. I was like, how are they going to figure this out? How are they going to do this joke? And thank God they fucking did it.
That's the beauty of these movies, man. It's like Deadpool 1 was just like, fuck it, let's just make it comic accurate Deadpool, like down to the T. And you know, second one, I like it's okay. It's not my favorite, but shit, we got Cable, right? Like we're taking characters who notoriously Fox would just be like, yeah, you know what, let's not do anything with that right now. Let's save it for this, save it for that. Let's just throw them on screen. Ryan Reynolds is just like, let's just throw them on screen, let them do their thing. If it's goofy, it's goofy. It's in a movie that's already goofy. It doesn't fucking matter if they look dumb. Let's make them as comic accurate as possible. And they did it in this one with Gambit. He's goofy. Like you can barely understand what he's saying. Like that's kind of that's the character. It's like, it's and even if it fell flat and then people were just like, yeah, Channing Tatum is Gambit kind of sucks. It doesn't even matter because this movie's already making fun of it anyway.
Yeah, it's already moved on.
And it's became like, from what I've seen, from what people are talking about it, one of one of the best parts of the movie. People really love Channing Tatum as fucking Gambit, and he's so happy to finally fucking embody the role.
Yeah,
too.
He can finally say,
sure he stole
"Fucking, I
that
told
costume.
you guys." You know, like
yeah. His accent needs a little bit of work. It's sometimes a little bit too goofy, but you know what? I think it's weird because like I like it, like I really like it, but I'm like it's a little grating to the
It's a
ears.
very thick Creole.
God.
Yeah, it's very thick,
Yeah, it's a very thick Creole accent. Yeah, which is. But I appreciate the fact of how much effort he goes in, when it comes to films, because there was like something at the end of the world where it was like that movie that came out in like 2013 where it just had a bunch of actors in a house and then like the world comes to an end, and the fact that like for spoilers in the film, he does not have a totally great ending in that movie, and like 90% of his part he's wearing a mask up until the very like last second, and they're like, oh, you can just come in for the last day. He's like, no, I want to do the entire thing. Like, I'm gonna wear the Gimp mask, I'm gonna be the goofy guy who's like on all fours and stuff like that, and then proceed to take off the mask. They're like, you could get a double, but apparently he stayed there for days just like on his hands and knees, just like barking and like doing weird shit, and then like takes the mask off because he's like, I want to do this. And I feel like that would be the same way when it comes to this, is like he wants to do everything. He wants to do the stunts, he wants to do the action, he wants to like go balls to the walls when it comes to like just his character in general, and I think he would have done it flawlessly if he got his own film.
there's still from that movie when he says like, I love him, I still say that in my head.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I love him. Also, I just want to
I'm gonna make something for myself.
I want to give a little shout out to Peggy the dog, who
yes.
like
Oh
played
my
it,
god, that
who also
Jesus
is
fucking
was
Christ! What is wrong with that
Mary
dog?
Poppins. So it Peggy was voted Britain's ugliest dog.
Okay,
and
so there's a reference to that because I was like, why is this dog so fucking ugly? Like,
yes,
was this
that's
a
the whole
breed?
point, because it's it's Deadpool as a dog, and it's just like just gross. And there's like an entire like cutscene where like the dog slips its tongue into Ryan Reynolds' mouth.
They're just
and
tonguing.
it's just,
They're just tonguing.
and it's just, I think that dog is so cute. I love the little goggles when their eyes are like bugging out, and it was just so cute. And then like the fact that like the point where everyone just stops shooting the moment that like Wolverine comes out with Dogpool and proceeds to walk across, because no one wants to mess up a dog. No one gets to mess up Dogpool. Everyone loves Dogpool, and I love Dogpool because Dogpool is the cutest. Oh my god, it's
God.
What do you think about Ryan Reynolds' Canada Nice Pool?
I mean, it's very BC. I mean, and I'm not saying Vancouver, I'm saying like outside of Vancouver.
The first thing I thought of the second time I saw that, because I didn't realize that I didn't realize that was the Canadian Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
But the second time, the first time you see him, it's how he says sorry. He was like, sorry. And I'm like, motherfucker. Like,
yeah. For context, when I was in Kelowna a month ago, we kept on going to this place, which, by the way, there's an entire liquor like chain there that's called Otters. Like, it's like Crazy Otter, or like it's Angry Otter.
Okay.
And so this guy, he like is the embodiment of nice Deadpool. He had like the half bun up. He was older, but he was wearing a t-shirt and shorts. Apparently he was like the general manager
as well.
And he drove a fucking van, and then proceeded, like, this person was in the cash register. He's like, I got your towel from the other day in the van, I can go grab it right now. And he's just like super chill, and he had glass. I'm just like, this is, if we had to like take someone the embodiment of BC, that would be Nice Pool and that guy who worked at Angry Otter. It was just so freaking funny. And the fact that he's just like, I'm very attractive, my face is my biggest thing.
That's incredible.
It's incredible.
That scene where he's just like, I could break the fourth wall too. What does he say?
He says
the proposal.
He looks at the camera and goes, the proposal.
It's like, motherfucker, you think that's what I do?
Sandra Bullock. Oh my god. Betty White's in that movie. That movie is great if you haven't seen it.
I have a question for you, Mario.
Yes.
As somebody who's seen this movie twice, how well does that like whole third act hold up? Like the machine plot, the power of friendship saving them, all that good stuff.
bring a little downer to the movie if I had to. After the Deadpool and Wolverine go back to 1005, that's where the movie's plot is a little goofy, right? They kind of wrap up that character pretty nicely with Wolverine talking to Cassandra, and there's actually character moments in building of him, like, if Charles was here, he would search the world for you. Like, if he knew about you, like he would do.
Yeah.
And it's really well done for them to kind of just throw it away randomly in that last section. Yeah. That's the weakest part of the whole movie. That to me is just, we need an excuse to, elevate the stakes, and then for them to, bring out the Deadpool people and all that. Like, I wish there was a better, clearer way of how we can understand how, if it was just Mr. Paradox just doing it and they couldn't kill him because it would just explode or whatever, that being like what the excuse was for the machine. That is my only complaint. And it's the only thing that's going to be like the glaring thing of the movie, because yes, I do think that the movie ends when they jump through the portal, but then there's that extra section. And as much as I like Nice Pool is 100% of a Ryan Reynolds joke. That is just, he keeps bringing back up, and the dog and stuff like that. Like, if there's stuff I could trim, it's going to be stuff like that. But then again, I love it. It's still fun. If I had to be critical at all, it's that section of the movie. As much as I like Emma's portrayal of the character, their ending is meh,
Yeah. I don't think it was an accident that section of the movie was filled to the brim with so many like cool feel good references, because it honestly is the weakest part of the movie. And it's not even saying that it's like everything in there is bad. I agreed with you 100%, because we talked about the movie like right after we finished watching it. I think that third act, it feels like that was the part that was definitely rewritten the most. Because you're right, like it doesn't make sense to have this kind of moment with Cassandra Nova where you kind of talk her down and she kind of sees the error of her ways a little bit, to then immediately go back into the error of her ways, like not even 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I like there's parts that like obviously allude to that happening, because they mentioned the Deadpools, they mentioned how they're under her control, but it's like. It just still like their motivations don't really make a lot of sense either, because some of those Deadpool variants would never do that. Like Zenpool would never be violent, because that's kind of the opposite of what he's supposed to be doing. Headpool probably wouldn't be a part of that. Definitely not Lady Deadpool, but it it made for a bunch of like cool moments, right? Because we get to see the cowl, we get to see the Deadpool Wolverine fight a bunch of Deadpool variants.
Oh my god, we haven't talked about it. It looked incredible.
Yeah,
it looked like two Batmans kissing each other. It was perfect.
It does. It looks really good. I like that they didn't do the eye holes, like you can see Hugh Jackman's eyes through it.
It was just white.
I like that they used the Deadpool ones. They used the ones they used for Deadpool's outfit. And honestly, it works fucking perfectly. There is some times where it's a little too CGI. When they go outside the bus, watching in the big screen, it is very noticeable because they freeze frame it, and I'm like, oh god, don't do that, because Hugh Jackman's obviously a little CGI there, and you can see it. But otherwise, I mean, like it's practical, it's perfect. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also want to say there was like a particular scene that I like really resonated with me, and there was I'm gonna call them out. There was an article that came out today from IGN that said that there was like no heart in the movie. It was I just want to say there's a particular scene where Cassandra like goes into the mind of Wolverine, and him seeing all of the actual tombstones of everyone who he's failed. And then it just got super silent, and it's just like, you should stay here. You can be yourself. Like you can finally like let go of the set, like the voices. And it kind of like that part just like broke me. That was like, it was dead silent because they turned off all the sound in the movie except for their voices. And then he's just like, no, I can't. I need to continue on to be able to like avenge them essentially. I can't just like, because it could have been easy. Cassandra could have been like, snap, boom, all of the voices are gone. But he's like, no, I have to live on and be able to like like
honor them.
honor them.
Yeah.
But saying that there's no heart in this movie, no. There was there was cheesy parts. Do I feel like the ending could have been a little bit different? For sure. But I've always kind of felt that way when it came to Deadpool movies. Like, I don't think they've ever there's it's a great movie. Like I would say part 1 and 2 of the all 3 Deadpool movies are fantastic. I always feel like they slightly fumble the ending, and it's not like saying that it's bad by any means. I just think that everything else kind of overshadows the ending, whereas a lot of movies, it's like the ending is like the big kaboom, but then like with Deadpool 3, we see so many different cameos. We saw so many different like jokes and like pop-ups, and then him yelling and say like not yelling, but him going the fourth wall, pulling the camera to his face and saying like, "Suck it, Fox. I'm with Disney now. I'm going to Disneyland," and proceeds to like yell into the microphone. I think the way that it ended, I feel like there could have been more to it. I think the way that like I'm happy that they get to continue on in the MCU, and it's not just they got like decimated, and yeah, it was the power of friendship, blah blah blah. But this also kind of opens it up to maybe seeing them in Secret Wars, or like seeing them in other movies where like, because even though maybe they're
Thor
not
crying? We gotta know.
Why is Thor crying? Why is Deadpool gonna wake up every single day until the moment he gets his moment with Thor? Like, it's just. There's so much great things in the movie. I don't want to take away on how great the movie is by the slight moment, which was the ending, which sounds really silly. But yeah, sometimes when it comes to the MCU, it is the power of friendship. And this was actually kind of really well explained, was the fact that like, yes, if one of them did it, they would have gotten decimated. But since they were both able to use their abilities, by all means, like that makes sense. They were together. It took them decades, like, to get to this point. Freaking finally.
There's a real tearjerker in that scene too, where it's obviously like it's one of those good writing moments where you're obviously talking in character, but you like outside character. It makes a lot of sense. Where Deadpool is just like, yeah, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, and Logan is like, they're just talking. He's like, by the way, you were the best Wolverine. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, even if you don't get another movie, Hugh Jackman, you had the moment where he's just like, yeah, you were the best Wolverine, and you see him in the costume, and he's just like, yeah. Yeah, this is the moment. Like that one 100% was like a love letter for the fans and from the fans as well. You know what I mean? Like you were the best Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, no matter what.
And with that,
shout out to our Lord and Savior, X-Men Origins Wolverine. You know,
our Lord and Savior X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yes, absolutely. Glad we got that in there. We're running a little long.
You know it was coming.
Oh yeah. Say it was. Thank you so much.
Sorry.
No. We're running along. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go into music room where we get to talk still a little bit more about some music. So I'm very excited about that. Before we do, I do want to set up that we do have a sponsor. Let me go ahead and set that up and enjoy this sponsor here.
I know what you're thinking, and yes, we're doing these all week. It's Wednesday, also known as Hump Day, my favorite day of the week. That's where you... Well, I don't need to explain it to you, you dirty pervert. Anyway, we have a stream coming up Sunday at 5, and to promote it, Aaron thought it would be a great idea for me to cash in on meme culture. So, this one's for free. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Sunday at 5, don't miss it.
Right. And we're back. Okay. Well, I'm happy to say we are, of course, sponsored. We had a little cameo from Deadpool, which was really cool. So please go ahead and check out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Check out the Aaron's stream, which, of course, is going on this Sunday. So, again, thank you so much for the sponsorship. We're very lovely to have you. I did try to get Deadpool on the show. But I'm very glad that he was able to submit something for us to show it. So enjoy that on Sunday. It's gonna be a fun time. All right, we're going to move into Music Room, which of course is superhero movies of this era are remembered for their original soundtracks. Does the music in this movie hold up or have any songs that are still bangers today? Which of course...
All of them. Every single one.
No notes.
Every one of them hold up.
Just
the NSYNC one might be a reference to X2.
Might be. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. There's a scene in X2 where I think it's Pyro.
Yes.
The same one from this movie hits Logan's driving, hits the on button, and bye plays, and Wolverine's just like, fuck this shit, how ill is this? And ironically, Deadpool is desecrating his body to the song that he hates.
Which shout out, that was Cyclops' car. Oh Lord. Where do we start? Okay, yeah, so bye, right? That scene was insane. The fact that they're able to put perfect choreography to... I used to dance to. I used to do that dance. I used to know that dance. And so for them to nail it the way they did was insane. Just pitch perfect.
That was one where I guarantee a lot of people in the movie theater were very confused, very thoroughly confused. I think the ones who knew. Because if you lived in the era, NSYNC was the fucking shit.
They were the shit, dude. They were everywhere. Oh man.
Well, I mean, also the Celine, like I said earlier, the Celine reference, where
absolutely
when
Canadian icon
proceeds to tell Celine, like, you need to bring it down to at least a 5.5 max, because this is Deadpool 2. We don't, I'm like 11, like you can't be an 11, you have to be a 5. And she says this voice doesn't even go down. I'm like, this not like this voice only like goes to 11. So you need to get over it. Spider-Man or Spider-Boy is it what she says in the actual movie, like the music video. So yeah. Then he says, I should have asked NSYNC. And so that was a really good shout out. That wasn't even in the movies. It was in a music video.
Love that.
Fee, what other music did you enjoy from this film?
Okay, so there's only one original song in this movie. The rest of them were from other fantastic. I'm going to talk about Slash by Stray Kids. So guys,
when was this?
Cannot. Okay, this is a collaboration that's been like waiting for at least 8 years. This was playing when Wayne went to the door and he is introduced to the TVA. So it's quietly playing in the background. And it's also kind of remixed when Blake Lively, aka Lady Pool, comes through the actual gate. The instrumentals are playing.
Got it.
So this was a song that was done for the movie, which I'm very excited about because as I mentioned before, Ryan Reynolds loves freaking Stray Kids. He's a huge stay and he like talks them up all the time. And so not only did they do Slash, they just recently had a new like essentially comeback, which was Chick Chick Boom. And in the music video, they have Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in it.
Yeah.
And so and at the very end, Ryan Reynolds asks, "Can I be can I be the ninth member of Stray Kids?" And they're like, "No, bye." And then they walk away. And apparently, I am very upset that they cut out an entire sequence of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds dancing to Chick Chick Boom.
What?
So we need to get this cut, like Stray Kids, please. But no, it's really cool to be able to have like this is the first technical K-pop song in the MCU, and so it's really exciting overall, and also the fact that they're just phenomenal. So I'm really excited to see more collaborations with Ryan because Ryan's mentioned them on a few occasions during interview. And it's very funny because he's just like, I've been friends. Hugh Jackman says that he's been friends longer with like Chris and Felix than he has with Ryan Reynolds, which is not the actual case, but they're all Australian. Felix, Chris, who's also known as Bang Chan, and then of course Hugh Jackman are all Australian. So they all have that in common. But yeah, it was really cool to be able to like finally see that kind of collaboration because a lot of people were expecting like maybe like Blackpink or something like that, but Having it be the only original song for the movie is kind of wild, because usually you get like a ton of different musicians, but they're like, nope, just Stray Kids. Like, there's so many fantastic songs out there, but we really just want Stray Kids on the, like, in some capacity. Even though it was a very short, very small part, I'm really excited to see what else they do maybe in the future. Who knows? Maybe Secret Wars, they come up with another song. Who knows?
Who knows?
If they bring Deadpool back, who knows?
Deadpool's totally going to get introduced with K-pop at some point.
Yeah,
in the MCU, in the actual MCU.
There's they were on a variety show and they actually redid the like Deadpool 1 where he's sitting on the wall and then he's listening to that like with the headphones. They do the same thing. So they do Deadpool references all the time. So it's very interesting to finally see this collaboration. But yeah, I'm gonna say the music overall was fantastic. Mario, just 10 out of 10.
Yeah, Sly, any standouts?
Literally all of them. I mean, just like it was banger after banger, and they all fit like the scene so well. It just like the music as a whole, I think, has always been a big part of the Deadpool movies, but I think this is like genuinely like the best we've seen so far. Like they really put their all into this movie, and the sound was just incredible.
Frank, any other mentions from you?
Not that I could think of, man. I that fucking intro with NSYNC has just been on repeat in my head. Honestly, one of the best intros to the MCU in a while. I know people bring up, oh, well, what about Guardians? Guardians is the same thing. Yeah, but Guardians didn't do it disrespectfully like this. Like, I don't know what's more disrespectful than...
It doesn't have desecrating a corpse. I don't want it.
Desecrating a corpse, and honestly, some of the most violent I've ever seen the MCU be. Yeah. Like, that's a way... Like, that was the hard intro for anybody who had any kind of doubts of, like, oh, is this movie going to be like the other Deadpools? Or is Disney going to, censor it a little bit? No, honestly, I can't think of anything other than anal and cocaine that was censored in this movie.
I'm sorry to be graphic, because there's a moment where he hits the bone against his groin and then jerks off the bone in slow motion. Like, it's absolutely insane.
He spit roast killed a man.
Yeah.
At some point. Like, there was nothing that wasn't like there wasn't nothing that was on the wasn't on the table. Yeah. Honestly, the NSYNC shit was just chef's kiss. I got a couple standouts that I got to bring up. I got to bring them up. First of all, the Grease song was for my mom. That was awesome. Super excited to see her react to that. We didn't even talk about Laura. Hold on, we'll talk about that in a second. There's so much.
The Avril Lavigne drop got me. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Canadian icon.
Savage Garden. Like all these, the good riddance at the very end. I fucking cried.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
That's that Seinfeld fucking like ending reels thing that like it was so prominent back in like the early 2000s, right? We always use Green Day to kind of throw like a little like tribute, you know what I mean?
We're graduating high school.
Exactly, right? Such a throwback.
I just want to like shout out one of my favorite movies of all time, and like the trilogy, like favorite trilogy of all time is Back to the Future. And when they played Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News, I was squealing.
Genius.
It was so good for the montage, the Wolverine montage with Huey Lewis. Oh my god, just like literally, there could not have been a better song for that sequence.
Just chef's kiss.
Nothing.
Chef's kiss with that one.
Yep. 10 out of 10.
I didn't mention this character that we forgot to talk about there's just so much in this movie.
So much.
X-23 showing up. Laura. Holy shit. She looks amazing.
That's great.
Has a big pivotal moment in the story as to the connection with Wolverine. The fact that the last time we saw them, she was holding her dad as he passed, and for them to... died, and now there's another moment for them. That got my mother. I looked to the left and she was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, I was excited for you to see that, Mom. So yeah, I'm happy that she got to get that ending. But yeah, any final thoughts on Laura?
Spoilers.
Yes.
We gotta love.
Thank
how
you,
everybody
IGN,
got
for
spoiled
spoiling
on
that for
like,
me.
3 days before the movie came out. Appreciate
I
it.
didn't get spoiled out of that at all.
Good.
It was on my
Yeah.
front it was on my
Not
timeline
existing
like,
on the internet.
instantly as soon as I opened up as soon as I opened up Twitter, just bam, just okay, cool. X-23's in the movie. Great, love it.
Yeah, no, I just want to. She also did one of the best quotes in the entire film.
Oh, yeah.
but we can like,
Get to
if we
it.
want to talk about that later, we can. Or if not, I'm more than happy to say
Bring
it
it us.
now.
Hit us up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Logan specifically says, "Whoever you think I am, you got the wrong guy." And then she looks at him and says, "You were always the wrong guy until you weren't." I'm done.
Oh.
I'm just like that was
man.
so. It killed me, like because it was so true, so freaking
Yeah.
true.
So goddamn true.
That's the beauty of Wolverine also being in this movie with Deadpool is because Deadpool is a tragic character. It's very much the clown under under the suit type of shit where it's just like I'm suffering on the inside, but outwardly I'm very funny.
God's most miserable jester. We
Yeah,
love that.
and Deadpool's always been that character. He's never going to be happy, and spoiler alert, he's never going to be happy even in the MCU. They're probably going to kill off like everybody he loves at some point. But to throw that with a character who is tragically also the same thing, because Wolverine's lived 200 years. He's seen people he loved died. He's usually the one they call to kill people. You know what I mean? Like when
Like 10 wars.
yeah, like when you need something to get done, even if it's like the worst thing ever, you call on the Wolverine, right? And he has his PTSD from that, from his failures, from his long life. You know what I mean? To put those two together and have those moments of like, yeah, you are the wrong person for this job, but like you're always gonna end up being the right one by the end of it, right? I think the only thing we do miss though is I'm the best I am at what I do, or the best there was, or something like that. I don't know his old, yeah, like his old school quote, but like that's fucking, that was great. That was a great scene with him in X-23.
God, so good. And then I'd be remiss if I did not mention, of course, Madonna, Like a Prayer, the orchestral version at the end when they do the spinning camera and this shirt explodes and he looks amazing.
Hands down his abs.
Cuts to Wade. So genius.
He in fact did not get fat after the divorce, by the way. I don't know
that
what
was a
Reynolds was talking about.
Fucking killer joke that I cannot believe they put that in there. That is insane. that actually was in there.
That's a joke only a friend can make, because anybody else, Hugh Jackman probably would have beat the shit out of.
I think I watched an interview when he said there was one joke about Hugh that I'm shocked that I got him to approve on. And I think that was it. Like
I think it's
that's fucking wild. Okay. I'm actually gonna get rid of that first question because that's too much to think about right now. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to one of our final segments. Of course, it's quiz time, where I ask quick questions to our lovely panel here about this movie and stuff around. Of course, this movie's brand new and there's not a whole lot of trivia out, so I'm just gonna talk about trivia about old movies. So I'm gonna see if we can get this up and running here. So I'm gonna ask Fee. No one else answer if you know the answer.
Oh,
Who
God.
played Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine? Do you remember this actor?
He's pulling
Not
Google.
even.
You can Google
No,
it.
I'm
I don't
not.
give a
I'm
shit.
not even.
I'm joking.
I legitimately have no sweet fucking clue.
I don't even either. I have no idea what it is.
This is a random
I
dumb
think I
question.
ever knew that man's name.
No.
He's just some random dude.
Remy
right?
LeBeau.
Remy LeBeau. No, he of course was from Friday Night Lights. He was also in Battleship. He was John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
He became a big actor, but nobody
It's
remembers
not
him.
helping. Not helping.
He was in
honestly.
True Detective season 2. His name was Taylor Kitsch. Taylor Kitsch played Remy LeBeau in live action, and no one remembers it. So
I just went to his IMDb, and the very first thing under known for was, in fact, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
If that's the thing
It's
you're
not a good movie
known
to
for
be known
most,
for. It's not good.
you gotta look up Will.i.am's
sorry.
IMDb page. I'm sure it's the same thing that pops up. That's no good. Okay.
No fucking. Yeah.
All right. Frank.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this one to Frank because I think this will be a fun one.
I'm gonna say.
Which we didn't mention this as well. John
He was
Favreau
great.
appears
Fucking killed it.
as Happy Hogan in this film.
Exactly.
What other character did he play
exactly
in the Fox universe?
He was Foggy Nelson in Daredevil.
He was
Hell
Foggy
yeah,
Nelson in
he
He was
Daredevil,
Foggy Nelson in the Netflix Daredevil.
which I'm shocked they didn't
Which
have
I
like a
think is
joke
fucking-
about that, but you know.
Yeah.
God.
I wish we could have seen a scene with Foggy at least seeing Elektra.
Yeah, that'd be
Like,
funny.
I think I know her.
That would have hurt my heart a little bit.
Oh man, God, that would have been hilarious. All right, next question. Sly, do you want to answer these? Because I know you are, of course, the person with the degree at the MCU.
Sure. Yeah, I could answer some of these.
Okay. All right. Then.
I think we talked about the next one. If you want to talk about the last one.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. Well, we didn't say which one he was in. Doesn't matter. Sly, what episode and show does Alive appear in the MCU?
Oh gosh. Okay. So the show was Loki. Episodes were season 1, 5 and 6.
Well, he was in 6. That is true. What?
Does it show up again in season 2?
Possibly. But the reason why I made that question in the first place is because there's a great joke in here, which is like, is that Elia from Loki season 1, episode 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is in the movie.
Okay, you're right. That was the line of the movie.
Oh, Lord. And then I'll ask this question last, actually, for Fee. Fee, which Blade did Ryan Reynolds appear in? Do you know which one?
Yeah, I do, because I was looking at why Wesley Snipes and Ryan Reynolds didn't like each other. It was Blade Trinity. He was playing Hannibal King.
That's right.
Hell yeah, he did.
There's lore there. There's fucking lore.
I was just curious, but apparently this has been like a whole joke, because that's what Ryan said like during an interview.
guess.
It's just like,
Yeah, I don't believe it. I
we
don't
didn't
believe
actually,
it for a second.
but you know what? Whatever.
There's a story
What?
that was told by Pat Oswalt that is the T on this movie. So I don't know. Maybe he's setting it up and then they just never denied it or whatever, but I don't know. I like to believe that there was a feud until money came involved and things got fixed. But
like that's what I mean. Like Wesley Snipes at that time was kind of a menace. Like he was like, I don't give a fuck. He was horrible to work with on set from what everybody accounts at that time.
yeah, from what I'm hearing.
So like I don't think it was all fake. I think definitely like the longevity of the beef has been like a joke. You know what I mean? I don't think for the full. I feel like very shortly after they probably squashed the beef because they didn't want that Hollywood drama.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the onset stuff was fake. I think they're lying about that.
Okay.
I think this would have been a great opportunity to bring back Hannibal King. I feel like when they made the joke that is this like
With the
you've always
facial hair.
hated me, they could have brought him back and then just like just Wesley Snipes Blade just proceeds to go like apeshit and just kill like Hannibal just as a joke. But I digress.
That would be so
would've been-
funny.
Would be great. 10 out of 10.
Ryan Reynolds could pull that off anywhere, you know?
Maybe we'll see him in Secret Wars. We'll never know. Which
I
before
don't
we
know,
go,
man. If they do another Blade movie, it'd be hilarious if Ryan came back as Hannibal.
before we go close the show up, I just do want to ask every single one person because I didn't hear any of your thoughts. Fee, what are your thoughts of Robert Downey Jr. returning back as Doctor Doom? And are you scared or are you optimistic?
I'm optimistic, mostly because there is a variant of Iron Man that comes back as Doctor Doom from what I've seen on the interwebs. So I'm definitely like, out of anyone, I know a lot of people wanted the guy from freaking what is his name? Killian. Oh, what is his name? I don't remember.
Cillian
off the top of my head. Yeah, they wanted Cillian Murphy to come
a good one.
as Doom, but I think out of everyone, I feel like this is a great way to bring him back in some capacity. Is just being like F the MCU kind of thing. I'm here to destroy it, which would be honestly kind of like poetic because he was the one who brought it into Disney, which was with Iron Man in 2008. So I feel like if they honestly, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but if they really wanted to just destroy MCU completely and just stop making MCU films, I feel like this would be poetic to just bring him back to just crush everyone and just like decimate everyone. I don't think that's going to be the case. It makes them too much money. But they might kill some timeline. Who knows? Maybe they kill the timeline with Iron Man, or maybe who knows? The timeline is a construct because they brought the TVA, and so the TVA can do whatever the bleep they want. Because it's just.
Why did you censor yourself on this episode of all things?
Because you know what? Sometimes girls get like the quota was just reached.
Too many fucks. Too many fucks in one episode.
Too many fucks. Too many fucks were given. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
It's like you live long enough to see your hero become the villain.
Sure.
Which is what we're currently seeing. We're seeing Iron Man become Doc Doom. So. Okay. Cheers.
Got it. Frank, your thoughts? Because I actually have not talked to you about this at all.
I'm optimistic on it. I don't think they would necessarily try to throw themselves into a fire if they didn't have a good story already kind of lined up for the character. It could happen, you know what I mean? Comic books, it's a very comic booky thing for a variant to, you know, play the part of a villain and stuff like that. It's very cool to then see Robert Downey Jr. take a role of a different character while still being like, you know, known for a particular character, right? It wouldn't be the first time MCU's did it. Let's be real here. We've gotten a bunch of them. Honestly, I was kind of hoping for Mads Mikkelsen to be that person. Mads Mikkelsen, Doctor Doom would have went so fucking hard, you wouldn't believe, but you know what? We got to wait a few more years for that. I do 100% think that it comes at a time that is very unfortunate because of Deadpool and Wolverine in a way, because we do have that final act making fun of the multiverse stuff and very much reading it like a book where like, yeah, we've had miss after miss. The multiverse just kind of isn't it. And then you immediately do a multiversal variant of a very beloved character. It just does, like, I can see why people are very much having an issue with it, especially when it does feel a little bit nostalgia baity. Let's be real here. It does kind of feel that way a little bit, but I still remain optimistic because guess what? I don't think that they're dumb enough at this point to do something that stupid and then not have a script like ready to go. Like we have an idea for this will actually like impact the universe a little bit type shit. Because if you're just doing this just to like, hey, we're just having a little fun here, we're just joking around a little bit, then I don't think it's going to resonate with people. But if you're doing it, you probably have a good reason for it to resonate with people.
Okay. Sly?
Okay, I have two answers. Thinking about it like critically, like from like an industry like lens, like it makes sense you have this big disastrous dramatic, you know, happening. You have to fire the person you were setting up to be the next big bad. You have to completely scrap that movie and you're scrambling to think, what else can we do to bring people back? Why not bring back, you know, the man who started it all, throw together fucking Doomsday and make it happen? Okay, fine, that makes sense. I'm sure people will love it. I'm sure people who care about RDJ because they liked Iron Man will love it. You know, it doesn't have to be for me, right? I understand logically like what they're getting at and what they're trying to do with the future moving forward, and hopefully it hits. On a personal level, we all know how I feel about Victor Von fucking Doom. We all know how much I fucking adored Fantastic Four 2005. And awesome. I personally am fucking devastated that this will be a Doom that I cannot thirst over in a fictional manner because nothing about him is doing it for me. I'm so sorry. And you know, a little heartbreaking, but you know what I can do instead of complaining about it? Just go watch Fantastic Four 2005 and enjoy, you know, the thought of Victor and Reed going at it.
You
like that movie?
Yeah, you know,
What about
doing
that
a
dude?
lot for race relations and fucking
Was it
the
all Silver
American
Surfer Doom?
Southeast.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, no, I'm personally devastated because I will no longer, you know, be so emotionally invested in this character that I love so dearly. But you know what? I'm just gonna watch projects where I can care about him and not, you know, make it my entire personality to complain on the internet because that would be dumb.
That works too. Hey, you never know. Maybe the variant of Doctor Doom from both Fantastic Four show up. That'd be hilarious. Just them chill for a second. That'd be great. You don't know. We'll see.
You know what?
I mean, my personal...
That would bring me back in.
Yeah.
If they did that, I would be back on board.
Of course.
I would accept RDJ.
Council of Dooms.
Council of Dooms. Yeah.
Council of Dooms. We're here for it.
You know, I need to know if RDJ's Doom is a top or a bottom. I need to know that information. That is an inside joke to our Fantastic Four.
Not want to be thinking about that with that man.
You're welcome. No, my personal thought is I am excited for this because it's logically makes sense in my mind. The fact that this whole, you know, saga that we've been building up to, which Endgame was very much the Infinity Stone, like we're going to do the Infinity Gauntlet and we're going to end that story with a nice bow. We're going to do multiverse. We're going to bring in Tobey Maguire. We're going to bring in Andrew Garfield. We're bringing in Logan into this. Now we're going to be doing possibly Fox X-Men people. Like I want to see these characters come and fight and do their thing. And then I want this universe to be complete. We have the Fantastic Four. We have X-Men integrated into the world. Hopefully brand new people playing those characters. And then
I'm so freaking excited about that.
Yeah.
Future Fantastic Four project. It looks so good.
Oh, I'm super excited.
It looks incredible.
And I'm, God, don't get me started with Pedro Pascal and all them talking on the red carpet and them being like the sexiest couple I've ever seen in my life. But anyways, yeah, I just ready for this to be a complete saga of like, for this show, for MC University being what it's about, visiting those old original characters, everyone loving the MCU and integrating all that and making this the final send off of our childhoods, I'm fucking down for. And then the next generation can have their turn. I'm okay with that. Like, that's what I feel like this is about. And I know that people are scared. Don't worry. Don't be scared. It's the comic books. People come back. I do know that it's very intentional that Doomsday is green and that Secret Wars is freaking Iron Man colors. That we're gonna have a moment where we're gonna have Iron Man fight fucking Doom or whatever. Like it's gonna happen. Like all that shit. So don't be afraid. Give in to the chaos, and just we'll see. Have a good time in the next couple of years. If Blade ever happens.
Let comic book movies be fucking comic booky again.
Yeah. Fuck it. But yeah.
They don't need to be high drama. Let them be comic book movies.
Yeah.
Deadpool Wolverine is proof of that. You can make a raunchy rated R movie and break $500 fucking million within a weekend. More than what Marvel has produced in
it's been a hot minute. To be fair, with the asterisks with COVID and strikes and a bunch of other shit. Jonathan Majors, there's a lot of shit that happened that I'm like, imagine if that never happened. Just imagine if that never happened. Anyways, let's wrap this show up. We're going to go ahead and go through plugs, and then I have a very special announcement that we're going to talk right before we leave. Final thoughts of the movie. We all love the movie. We got that, right? Pretty much off the board. You understand.
I don't
Go watch it.
Yeah.
If you somehow got to the end of this and you still haven't seen this fucking movie, shout out to you. But also stop what you're doing and go watch this movie.
Yeah, go watch the bootleg at least. Like, go on YouTube. Just look up Deadpool.
Go watch it legally. We support supporting artists.
You know, do what you want.
Movies are expensive, I get it, but like, there's so many ways.
Just watch it on TikTok live, like fucking Snow Mike probably did.
Dude, there is like 43 parts on. Like, there really is a TikTok, like all the parts of the fucking movie already.
There's fan cams. There's so much shit. Yeah.
And then there's like a person in the corner, and they're like, "Watch this clip," and then it's just like a person just sitting there the entire time like this. And they're like, "Talk to you tomorrow," and I'm like, "What?"
Absolutely.
Dude, those movies, like, it's so weird because they just sit there, just like,
Make sure you hit like and
I'm like
subscribe.
waiting for you to react to something. Are you even looking at the video we're watching? Like, what are you? You're just staring at your camera. It's always eye contact too. They're always just like.
Anyways,
just like stop.
Logan and Deadpool. We'll probably see them in Secret Wars. Very excited to see what's next for them.
Oh yeah,
very excited. You know what? We're gonna do the announcement now, and then we're gonna give our plugs at the very end so we can say goodbye. Special announcement. We have something prepared. We've been waiting a long time for this. Sly, I'm going to give you the floor here because you're not in the video. So I want you to give you the time to speak. Sly, what do we have going on?
We have a very special project that we've been hard at work making behind the scenes for months now.
Yes.
Many, many months. And I'm so excited. We've created a show that is genuinely so special. It is a spiritual successor to MC University, and it is an absolute blast, and I'm so excited about this. We've recorded season 1 already. It's all ready to go, and I'm so excited for the first 2 episodes to drop on Friday.
Yes.
But for what that project is, I'll let you roll the video.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and roll the video.
Carlos explain.
Give me one. And hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special announcement. I'm of course joined by the one and only Nerdiday. Carlos, how you doing?
I'm good, Mario. Thank you for having me for this special announcement. I wonder what we could be talking about.
Yes, we've been teasing this for a while now, that there's going to be something coming out very shortly. And I wanted to obviously invite you here because you're a massive part of it. I've been running MCU for a long time, and we completed that arc, but we wanted to work on a new project. And we also never wanted to watch a Zack Snyder film. So we did something totally different. And I wanted you to go ahead and invite the people and let them know, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's right. We are announcing DC Graduates, where me and Sly will go through the DC animated movies and tell you why the DC universe can actually be good.
Yeah, shocking. There's a lot of great animation in the DC Pantheon. And there's a few places that you're going to be visiting. Obviously, you're going to be visiting a lot of the Timverse. You're going to be going into some of the early release DC animations, all the way leading up to when they did, of course, like that New 52 sort of like branded where it was canon for every film that you would watch. So very exciting about that. I actually have a surprise for you. I do have the trailer. Now, you've seen, of course, a little bit of this, but you probably haven't seen this. So I'm going to go ahead and have you take a look at this really quick.
I can't hear it. Oh, I love it.
Of course, Fee drew this and was able to capture all of the stuff.
Amazing.
Yes, of course. DC Graduates is the name of the show.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's
okay.
right. And the first episode is going to be August 2nd, which is not that far from long. It's only 2 days? 2 days from when you see this. So, yeah. Wanted to be a part of this now. It's because you are the host of the show. I am given the reins. I am no longer running the show. Of course, your co-host is going to be Sly as you go through the DC Pantheon of animated projects. So, yeah, no, super excited.
I'm very excited, especially with this announcement, especially, thank you for handing the ball over to me from MC University, one of my favorite shows that I watch on the internet. I'm excited for this announcement. And then for Friday, to have everyone join in on the fun at DC Graduates. Me and Sly have been having a great time hosting that show. We have a lot of goofy times, a lot of sleep deprived talks about queer coded Batman and all this amazing discussions that we've had. It's really cool. So I want to thank you. I want to thank the rest of Point of Progress as well for this opportunity.
I'm excited for everyone to watch it, and of course the whole season's already filmed, and there's a lot more to come. So again, thank you so much, and have a DC wonderful day. Well, we got to figure that out. Did y'all figure that out?
Dismissed?
Class dismissed? Class is dismissed.
I just wanted it to be pretty.
It's very pretty, And we're back live, everybody. And you know what? That logo, of course, was created by the one and only Fee. Thank you so much for putting all the effort. It's killer. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, good
Honestly,
shit, Fee.
like, I mean, I'm biased because it's for like my like pet project, but like best work you've ever done. Fee. Like, it's so
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, it's on.
No, I know that you guys have been putting so much work into it, and I was so hyped about it, and I wanted to kind of like push my boundaries a little bit, mostly because there were so many people in one. So I definitely found out while we were watching this trailer, I could have done silhouettes, which would have been so much easier than what I did. It would have made it for a lot shorter video, mind you. But no, I really like. I was having a lot of fun with it, and I wanted to bring that kind of like comic essence to it, and I really wanted it to like stand out. So I'm really happy that you guys like it because it took a long time.
Yeah,
for
we can
context,
tell. It looks good.
that video is sped up, but it still was 10 minutes.
It was 10 minutes
so
long.
the original,
He sent us a 10-minute time lapse
Yes.
of the creation of this design.
which
is
shout out
absolutely
iPads.
fascinating. I
That's
watched all
crazy.
of
The
it.
time lapse shit is actually kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that for every single art piece that I have ever done on my iPad. It just like you can download it, which that's a random side note. This is just behind the wall, I guess,
Yeah.
if you ever get to watch this episode and then wondering how I made that. But no, I'm so happy you guys like it. And like I said, you guys put a lot of effort into your content, and especially for season 1. So I wanted the logo to reflect that. So I'm really happy that you guys like it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, sorry, I was just gonna.
Yeah.
So DC Graduates is releasing this Friday, August 2nd. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this after the fact, go check out that. You can find it on pretty much most of any podcast streaming app, wherever your pods are cast to. You should be able to check it out. If you check it out today, most of them will have the updated, beautiful Fee art. Some of them, hopefully by Friday, it'll update. Oh my gosh. We're trying to put this all together for you. But yeah, we'll be dropping the first 2 episodes. We'll be releasing weekly. And yeah, the first season, I believe, is 8 episodes, all going through the Deanie-verse and Deanie-verse adjacent films. And it's such a freaking blast. I'm so excited for you all to experience the show. So please, follow on any of those podcasting apps you use. Please subscribe here. It's going to be hosted on this YouTube channel on Point in Progress. Check out that playlist when we throw that out, and just I hope you all enjoy. We've been putting so much work into it. We're having so much fun with this, and I'm so excited for it to finally be out in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, super excited to be taking a backseat on this one. I'm a producer. I brought these 2 people together to make this product because I think it just made sense, and we want to introduce Carlos, part of the Point in Progress brand, because he's always been a massive part of us, and so we wanted to have him be running the show, and then Sly co-hosting, as they've always been wonderfully doing for this project. So this is gonna be fantastic. And yeah, the episodes are already pretty much ready. They just gotta be uploaded, so I'm gonna do that tonight. But
We'll
then
work on that.
I'll get you the files when we need them, and then yeah, we should be pretty solid for that. So yeah, DC Graduates, so looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. All right. So we're going to wrap it up and do the plugs for the day. I'm going to go ahead and start with Fee. Fee, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Twitter and on Twitch, which I'm probably going to stream after this. So come and say hi. At twitch.tv/Zoranix. I've been streaming a lot recently. Mind you, I was going to stream yesterday, but I may or may not have been working on the logo. So I am back, which should have asked if I could have streamed that, because I would have been able.
If you asked, I would have said yes.
Damn it! Now, so many things I should have asked. In the future, I'll be streaming that. If I did that, I would have streamed on our this channel over on Twitch. But no, for sure, I am gonna be. I've been playing ZZZ. I've been playing Palia, Final Fantasy 14. I've been playing a lot of demos as well as games as well. I just recently played a fantastic demo of this game called Sunset Hills. It is 10 out of 10 demo. It is like fall in a, you play as a little dog who's like a veteran who's going to go visit his friend who essentially lives in a place that looks like the Grand Budapest Hotel, and it's just like it's like Wes Anderson but a video game, and it's just fall in a video. It's so cute. Go and check it out. But yeah, I've been streaming over there. But come say hi. Like I said, I'm going to be playing ZZZ for a little bit for a late night stream, so come and say hi to me over there.
Yeah, go fish over in her channel. That's what I do. I go in there and I just go fish real quick.
Yeah, I have a fishing bot. Yeah, you can go fish. Just !fish.
Frank, where do people find you on the net? Shout out to Frank, hit 1,000 people on TikTok. Congratulations.
Yeah. Shout out to TikTok. Shout out to Rainbow Six. But yeah, you can find me at Twitter at the Frank GV. Where I talk shit about video games, and you can find me at TikTok at the Frank GV, where I just be posting my game clips and stuff like that. You can also find me at Carlos's channel, Nerd a Day, Chaos Bringers, where we recently just talked about our Final Fantasy VII remake stuff, our rebirth stuff. So finally got that video out and everything. And then also you're gonna find us soon here with Harv, talking about Final Fantasy as well when we eventually finish Dawn Trail, because it is a very long, very long expansion. I'm almost done. I've been trying. This expansion is longer than it seems. I'll tell you that. But yeah, there's like 3 false endings throughout this whole fucking expansion.
Oh goodness.
Goodness indeed.
Incredible.
Sly, where can people find you on the net?
Well, you can find me and Carlos over at DC Graduate. I'm so freaking excited for the show, y'all. If you're watching this live tomorrow, on Thursday with Dre Dre. It's been a couple weeks. It'll be nice to catch up with him, just chat about what we've been doing. Lots of good stuff to talk about there. And then, unfortunately, it is the All-Star / Olympics break, which means the WNBA is currently paused. So that means A, I don't get to enjoy the WNBA, and B, I have very little employment. So when that resumes, you can find me talking shit about basketball and hockey on threads at SelectLoneMC.
Fantastic. You can find me here at Point in Progress. And actually, you'll be finding me, if you're watching live, tomorrow. If not, it should be also on this channel. Metal Beard Solid is finally happening. Yeah. I'm going to be there live with, of course, Beard in the Hair, our other brother who's not here. Frank might be there as well, make some cameos, which will be fun. Yeah. We're going to watch this man try to guide him through the first Metal Gear game. I'm curious how far he's going to go before he decides to throw the controller on the ground, because it's an older game. But you know what?
How far Harv goes before he just starts playing Elden Ring again.
That's right. Gonna cut an interstitial Elden Ring inside the game. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So see that soon on the YouTube, or see that you'll be actually live streaming that on his channel, twitch.tv/beard in the hair. The VOD / edited video will be on our YouTube, which is fun and consumable. So very excited for that. We'll trim that down to make it fun and pretty good. So. Oh boy, let's wrap this up. Again, this of course has been MC University. Homework is going to be DC Graduates. Watch DC Graduates. Watch your first movie, which of course is going to be Mask of the Phantasm.
Phantom of the Opera.
I was going to say Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
Mask of the Phantasm and the Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero will be the 2 episodes we're dropping this Friday. Incredible, great, such a fun time. And I can't wait for you all to hear and see those episodes.
Yes. And also Craven's still happening and Venom 3. So, yeah.
We'll be back. This is not the end of MC Universe.
No, there's still a lot of shit that's still going to happen. But of course, this has been your MC University. I'm going to go ahead and say and sign off with our favorite class has been dismissed. Goodbye, everybody.
I wrote on your desks, by the way. I wrote all over the desks.